Bridgestone just sent me a package of their new prototype golf balls. Yes, I didn't realize I was this special either. And to make it even better, there's a confidentiality notice on every one of these boxes. So I'm just feeling top of the world right now because these make me feel special. All I know about these golf balls is the little bit that they sent me, meaning that the black and the blue are over 105 club head speed and the red and the green are under 105 club head speed, and then a little bit of characteristics that I have on the screen right now. So that's all I know about them. So this is going to be a true raw, how they feel, how they react, and the numbers we get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit some chips with every one of the golf balls, chips around the green. I'm going to hit some folder wedges. I'm going to hit some irons to get a feel of what they feel like, honestly, and give you my raw reaction on it. And then I'm also going to go in the Trackman room and get some numbers on kind of the results. Some of these balls say they're supposed to go farther. Some of them say they're supposed to spin more. So we're going to see if that is true. So let's get started. We're going to test them all out against each other and see how they feel. So based on the little bit of knowledge that I know about these golf balls that was sent to me by Bridgestone, the blue and the green are supposed to be the ones that spin the most, which means in my head, at least, these should feel a little softer compared to those because they're for maximum distance, but let's see if that is true. Off the bat, I can already tell that the blue spins more than the black, and it does feel slightly softer. The black's like a little bit clickier just because it's a firmer ball, and the blue sounds, I guess, a little bit more, I don't think dead's the word, but it's like lower tone. Softer or firmer, just depends on what you like there. I already forgot which ball between the red and the green are the one that's supposed to spin the most, so this will be a real true test. I'm imagining if it's based off the other ones, I'm going to be easily able to feel the difference, but let's see. Those two do feel really similar. I'm going to guess that the red is the one that goes farther because I do feel like it was a slight bit firmer and I spun the green a little bit better, but could be totally wrong there. That's just what I felt on these first chips. Let's move to something that's a little bit longer and requires a little bit more spin to like really feel out the difference. So now we got a shot that requires a little bit more spin. We're going to start with the green and red ones first to change it up a little bit. Again, still a little up in the air on which is which because I don't remember. That one spun nicely. We had 2 good strikes and 1 poor strike with that. Definitely spun pretty good. So I'm, again, assuming that that is a spinnier ball and this is going to be a little firmer, but we will find out. Okay, I can hear it already. You know, I said the clickier sound was with the black ball. It's the same thing here. It sounds a little bit clickier, which makes me think it's a little bit firmer. That one did spin a fair bit, but I can tell it is firmer. That one spun a lot. Now I'm really confused. Now I really want to look it up. Okay, so I did have it right. That the red is the firmer one. It's the more maximum distance one. I'm saying firmer. It doesn't say it's firmer, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm still able to generate a lot of spin. That last chip was low, flighted, spun pretty good. I'm sure from this shorter range, you're not going to see a drastic, like a crazy difference in spin. But when you get to the wedges, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot bigger difference. Now we've got the blue and the black. We're hitting the blue ones first. Again, this is the one that I thought felt softer. So I should see a little bit more spin with this one compared to the black. But again, we're going to find out. Mishit a little bit. That one was really nice. Now we're on to the black. So it's the same feeling. The black was definitely a lot firmer, felt a lot clickier to say, a little like higher pitched. Didn't spin as much, but it wasn't the fact that I don't think I can generate any spin. It's not so firm that I don't feel like I can control this shot. I just feel like for myself personally, I can generate a lot more spin with the blue, red, green in this situation. So now let's move back to a longer shot, call it 50, 60 yards, because then I'm gonna start generating a lot more spin. So we've moved back to about 40, 45, 50 yards. I'm not really sure, I don't really laser these, but this is the area where I mainly use to figure out which golf ball I'm gonna play, because I struggle to spin the ball enough in general from these yardages. So I'm always looking for a ball with more spin because I want it to stop and I want to have some control in these shots. So this is an area that'll really show me the difference, because sometimes I just cannot stop these and other times I can because I'm more of a low spin player. So we're starting with the black, then the blue, and then moving on. That one stopped really fast. That one's gonna stop even faster because I missed the green. Okay, so decent. It came off with a nice flight. It felt like it spun a decent bit. The first bounce was pretty firm on the last one. I'm really curious to see if this one kind of has a little bit more grab, a little more grip to it when it lands. That one certainly had a lot more bite to it. Yeah, that one flew farther and it spun quick. Yeah, definitely. So the blue 100% spins more than the black for me from this yardage, which is exactly what they say. If I was gonna pick one of these two golf balls without seeing the numbers from Trackman, I'm picking the blue one for me, because this is something I want. I want more spin. I think the blue one's actually the one they built for Tiger, because he's always looking for more spin because it's easier to take off spin. So I can see Tiger's got good taste here because I like that golf ball too. So now we're on to the VS green. My memory's terrible. I don't know which one of these is the firm one or soft one, but again, we're gonna figure it out by contact. I think that's honestly the best way to do it. You just don't tell me anything and let me feel it out. Okay, that one launched really high. That one's not gonna give me anything to work off of because it launched high and it landed short of the green. That was nice. It was a nice strike, spun a good bit, very similar to the blue on spin and feel. Just poor strike again. Well, I basically only have one ball to go off of from that one, but from the one shot it did hit well because I kind of flubbed the other two. Definitely spun a good bit more. Feeling like that is going to be the spinnier one of the two compared to this one. Oh yeah, I can already tell. That one landed too short to really get like an idea on spin from the reaction of the green because it didn't land on the green. But I can already tell, feel-wise, this is the firmer one. I mean, that wasn't hit phenomenal, but it landed really firm and it didn't really didn't have a whole lot of bite to it. Okay. That was a decent strike, launched a little high. It's exactly what it says on there. The green and the blue definitely spin a lot more. The blue and green spun very similar. The red definitely spun a lot less from here. And then the black was even less than that. So that is my opinion on the ball of feel-wise. Blue one and the green one are definitely softer. And then the black one and the red one are definitely a lot firmer. So now we've moved back to a 130-yard shot. And the reason I wanted to pick this shot to test these golf balls out is to see how they are when you try to flight them. Because what I've found is with the really firm golf balls, it's tough to flight them down and get the spin. Think about if you hit a range ball, it just always seems to go launch higher and spin less. So that is my question here, is do these flight as well as I hope they will? We're going to hit every one of them, obviously, starting with the VS Black, which is the firmer one. Like I said earlier with the chip shots and the pick shots, it is a little clickier, which in my head means that this is going to be a little bit harder to flight down and generate that spin. But let's see if they're going to prove me wrong. So the first one definitely wasn't the best strike I ever had. The last two were very good. They did launch a little bit higher than the ball I play currently, which is a Pro V1X, which is their softer, spinnier ball, which makes sense. It did definitely feel firm. The ball felt very firm to me. So let's go to the blue. This one, in my eyes, would be very similar to the ball I play right now. So it should be a window that I'd expect, meaning a little lower. So with the blue, it definitely felt softer compared to the black. Flight-wise, was a lot more similar than I expected. Maybe I'm just lost on what I expect the ball to launch at, but launched pretty similar. Did seem like it spun a little bit more, but I'm going to have to go in the Trackman room to really get those numbers to really figure out if that's true or not. So now we've got the green first, which would be reverse of what I just did. This one should be the softer one. Let's just see how they react, really. That one felt really nice. I feel like I'm hitting these very similar that I did with the other balls. These seem like, to me, that they're launching a little bit lower, which is something I really like, actually, with flighted wedges. As long as they have enough RPMs on them, I love it when they launch low. So now onto the red. I mean, I'm going to be a little biased, let's be real, that those just felt really good. So I'm assuming these aren't going to feel as good because it's a firmer ball, but we're going to see. We're going to see. It's all in the results. I mean, that was just a horrendous golf shot. We're not going to count that one in our opinions on this ball because that was just horrendous on my part. That was my fault. Okay, so that one launched higher and it felt really good. I mean, that shot just sucked too. So those are all the shots with the flighted pitching wedge. I'm going to take a second, assess my thoughts, drive up to the green, and then we'll give you a final review on kind of the feel and performance with these wedges and chip shots, and then we're going to get into the Trackman room. So I've collected all the balls and collected all my thoughts on what I think so far with feel and how they react with the wedges. I personally, if I was going to pick which one of these golf balls I would use now based on what I felt, I would play the VS Blue because I like a little softer feel and I like a little bit more spin, and that is exactly what this did for me. This is also, I know it's the ball that's supposed to be over 105 club head speed. I probably hover between 110 to 113 to say. So this would be the ball for me from what I feel right now. The black was definitely firmer, not something that I personally love. It's got a firmer feel. It's got almost, I feel like clicky is the wrong word because when I think of clicky, I think that is like a huge negative, but it is a little bit higher pitch sound. You can just tell it's a little bit firmer by the sound. So that's the reason why I wouldn't play this one. It doesn't spin as much as I would like on those weird shots, meaning the 40, 50, 60 yarders that I was hitting. So that's another reason why I wouldn't play this one. The red one is the firm one for the under 105 speed. Did feel pretty good. Did spin a decent bit around the green. I think around here, although I hit two really bad ones with the wedge, but the one I did hit well, it did launch a little higher, which Kind of surprised, not really that surprised, because in my opinion, firmer balls launched a little higher. If there's anyone out there in the comments that's watching this video and you know ball, is it true that the softer ball launches lower because it maybe grips the face a little better? Leave it down in the comments if you know the answer to that. I personally don't, but I thought this one launched a little bit higher. And then getting to the VS green, honestly, felt really good. Spun how I'd like to around the greens. It launched and felt how I'd like to around here. The reason why I just don't expect me to pick this ball is because it's for the under 105 speed. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it's going to be a better ball for me once I get in the Trackman room, but that is my thought so far. Exactly what it says in their text, that the green and the blue feel a lot softer. The red and the black feel a lot firmer. It's just kind of what you feel, what you're looking for. Now let's get into the Trackman room and figure out the numbers, see which ball is better for me and which kind of how they react. So now we've made it to the Trackman room. We're going to start with wedges, and we're here to just get numbers. We've got carry yardage, we've got spin rate, we got launch angle, because I'm curious if the spin and launch differ based on the different balls. So the goal is to try and hit these at a similar number. I'm thinking 95 is a number I can be pretty consistent with, so we're going to do that. We're going to hit, call it 5 balls with 5 shots with each ball, and just look at the numbers. So that is 5 balls with the VS Black. We averaged between 9,000 and 89, and the top end we got 9,428. Launch, in my opinion, was very similar. It says my differential was 0.3, so very consistent. We're going to see how that is different from the other balls. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, maybe it's the same. We're going to see. But that was the black. That's the one that it says it's going to spin a little less, but let's see if the blue spins a little bit more. All right, so that's 5 shots with the VS Blue. The numbers are very similar. The lowest number I got with the VS Blue was just under 9,000, but it did go a little bit shorter, so that's kind of why it spun less. And the highest one we got was just slightly higher than what the VS Black is. So for these like controlled 90, 85% wedges, the spin rates was actually really similar. Feel-wise, the blue just feels a little bit softer. I think where I'm going to see the biggest difference between this blue and the black when it comes to numbers is going to be with driver. So now we got the VS Green. This is the under 105 and the one that's supposed to generate more spin. Right off the back, already spinning more with the green than any other ball. So already, just by the 5 shots I hit with the VS Green, the spin rates are a little higher compared to the blue and the black. I was right around that 94.30 to 93.30. So very tight differential there, which is honestly impressive, and a little bit more spin from what they had there. Now we got the VS Red. This is the one that I found a lot firmer when I was on the green and hitting shots out on the course. So this is, I mean, I'd expect to feel the same thing. It's still going to feel firmer, and I would expect a little bit less spin. That one launched higher, surprisingly. Can't believe I hit that one right. The ball was moving. All right, so with the VS Red, feel-wise, still feels firm, as expected. Feels a little firmer than the green. Spin-wise, very similar to the green for these wedges. And launch angle actually was a little bit higher with this red compared to the green, which is a little bit surprising because the black and the blue were so similar. But now we found that they're very similar with the wedges. Let's see what the difference is with driver. Now that we got driver, we're going to do the same rotation as we did with the wedges. We're going to hit the black first, then the blue, and then so on and so forth. First one, we can already see the spin rate very low. That one I hit horrendous, and it still only spun 2200. So that's 5 balls. I did hit 1 extra, but it read it kind of weird, so I didn't count it. 5 balls with this. I hovered right around that 287, 285 mark for total. Spin rate, very low. We've got 1779 all the way up to 2270, but I had to heel it like crazy to get it there. So for me, the black doesn't spin a whole lot with the driver. Let's see how the blue does. That one was really good. That's kind of the shot that I hit when the other one went 1779. So 2 shots in, I'm already seeing that the blue is spinning more for me on the driver compared to the black. So that's 5 shots with the VS Blue. The carry did go down a little bit. The spin rate went up. What I'm seeing between these two is when I make a solid strike, like hit it dead center, hit it how I want to, the yardage difference isn't very big. The other one, the VS Black, I was averaging right around 287. This one, probably closer to 283 to 285 when I hit it right in the center. The spin rate was definitely a little bit higher with this VS Blue, which is something that I personally look for because 1779 with the driver, if you don't get it high enough, it's just going to dive out of the air. So it's a little bit low for me. But again, if I was going to pick a ball, I'd be picking blue so far. So now moving on to the under 105 balls. These technically should not fit me. Like I'm going to pull up the swing speed right now. So swing speed, you can see bottom right, 109.9. So I'm technically 4.9 over what these are designed for, but we're gonna see how they react. So that's 5 balls with the VS Green. Carry distance, I'm seeing it's definitely lower. We're looking kind of around that 275 mark for me, which makes sense. This ball's not designed for the club head speed that I'm generating. My guess is if you're someone with an even higher swing speed, call it 115, 120, you're gonna see even more of a distance issue. Maybe it'll be spin rate because that's a ball that's designed for more spin. It did spin more than the black and a little bit more than the blue, which is something that I would look for. I didn't really miss-hit too many of those, so it was more good strikes that spun a lot more, which is good to see. Now we're on to the red. This one, I really wouldn't be surprised if I got similar numbers to the blue or the black, just because this is their distance ball for under 105, and honestly being at 109, 110, I'm probably pretty close to the cusp. All right, so that's 5 balls with the red. It's pretty much what I expected. It flies a lot farther than the green because it has a lot less spin on it. The last one I just hit, little low, little heely, spun up to 2300. The one I hit solid was just under 1800, and the one I towed was down to 1560, which is really, really low. So that's all the ones I'm gonna test with these golf balls, and let's talk about my thoughts on all the golf balls. So the VS Black, I think it is a great golf ball. For me personally, it doesn't fit me. It's a very low spin ball, and I don't spin the ball enough with driver. So if you're someone who spins the ball a lot, this is a good ball because your higher swing speed, you struggle with higher spin. This is going to knock down the spin, help you get a little bit more yardage. Yes, I did hit it farther with this ball, but not very much. The biggest thing I'm going to see is mishits are going to be worse with the VS Black for me because they're not spinning enough to kind of stay in the air. So this definitely does go farther, does spin a little bit less around the greens. Now the blue for me was the better fitting ball because it spins a little bit more with the driver. I also like the feel of it being a little bit softer and getting a little bit more spin around the greens. So again, higher club head speed, but looking for more spin, the blue, great option. Now going down to under 105, we've got the red and the green. The red is similar to the black where It's a lot less spin, but doesn't spin as much around the greens. So very similar there. And then the green, very similar to the blue, generates a little bit more spin and spins a little bit more around the greens. I will note that for anyone under 105 ball speed, every one of you, my guess, is looking for more distance, which would mean you're gonna instantly gravitate towards the red. My thing I want you to think about though is, do you launch it high enough to hit the red? If you don't spin it a lot and you don't launch it high enough, you're not gonna get as much distance as you think. So I would definitely recommend getting to somewhere where you can see numbers, because I wouldn't immediately go straight to the red because you're like, I wanna hit it farther. Yes, you might wanna hit it farther, but we wanna make sure you can get optimal numbers. The red does go farther if you launch it high enough. The green does spin more. So you just gotta figure out what's best for you. But that's my thoughts on it. Black, red, feel a lot firmer, spin a lot less. Green, blue, feel softer, spin a lot more. Just depends on the club head speed you got. So with all that said, thank you for watching this video, sticking around. I hope you learned something about this, about these balls. And if you're looking to get one of these and you have any other questions, leave it down in the comments. I will answer them. And let me know if you try this golf ball, what you think. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.